On track to get the latest with Corey Smith. To him, but a look at the market has Without a Trace at 260, and that hasn't really budged since markets open. Ethanol Water $4, Lanfranco 5, Late Night News 5.50, Fade to Black 7. So a really tight and compact market here now. Might be the time to get out to Smithy. Here he is with Peter Prosciutto and Without a Trace.
Yeah, we got plenty of time, Pete. I reckon last time I spoke to you about this girl was around Sandown Cup time, and she was stepping up to the middle distance for the first time, and she was super impressive. Everything that she's done since has only enhanced her reputation, and last week she was super.
Yeah, she's just ticking every box at the moment, getting better with each run. So, and she's come out of last week's run exceptionally well. So she's wanting to go to the boxes pretty hard now. So she's pulling me pretty hard, but she's pulled up really well.
There can be sometimes a little bit of a concern about a dog's second crack at the 700, but it looks like you've tried to alleviate that with a real solid grounding over the middle distance, and she's beaten some handy ones over that 650 to 680 sort of range in the build-up to this too.
Yeah, the 680s at Geelong, they were hard runs. They were very hard runs for her, and she came out of that a little bit flat, but that was a good grounding for this tonight. So all things equal, she'll put herself in the race again and give a good sight.
Well, she's making you work to get to the boxes, and hopefully she makes the others work as well. Shane Drummond. Shane, normally I'm having a chat to you about Drill Sergeant, but Copper Rush here, who the boys are giving a little bit of a push for, is pretty well placed.
Hopefully get a cart across with the 5. You know, get around that first corner and, yeah, see what he does from there. But a lot of good dogs in here, you know, Daly's dog and Ennis's. So if he gets around safe, he runs 4th, or he goes better, I'll be wrapped, you know.
And it's nice to be in these sort of races again after the retirement of the old Marvel.
Definitely, mate, definitely. But he's not seasoned, but he's slowly getting there, this bloke. So hopefully we'll see a real good dog in 6 months. Yeah.
Well, good luck there. It's a cracking edition of the Fireball. Obviously, Brooke Ennis with Lanfranco. He's a Group 1 winner. Ethanol Water's a Group 1 winner. There's plenty of other group race performers in this. This is going to be a ripper, boys.
Yep, indeed. That's what they're all chasing. The Fireball final. Nathan Rooney, who do you think wins it?
I went 5, 8, 3 and 4. I went Without a Trace. I couldn't find a reason not to tip her. She's an exciting star. She's ticking all the boxes, and I think if she can get the start right, roll to the top, she's going to be awfully hard to beat. But I am wary about Lanfranco. He's a Group 1 winner at the track and distance. If he can get over to the fence, he's going to be a major opposition for Without a Trace.
Many dogs capable of winning the race, and the speed map looks to be in their hands Without a Trace. Michael Ty, what's your view?
Yep, I'm reluctantly with Without a Trace. The first box I want to see is her clearing Copper Rush early, getting to the crown of the track at full momentum out in front. And I wouldn't talk you out of Late Night News either. I think he's right in this, luckless last week, but 5 on top for me, Without a Trace.
So the whole crew with the up-and-coming stayer looking to have some really special things in her destiny. Chapter 1 is tonight. Here's James for the Fireball of 2025.
Race number 6, last few placed away. She'll run favourite in 5 for Peter Prosciutto. And they're set to bounce now. The green light for the Group 3 Fireball final. Stand by for the stayers. They're set. Off and racing, Without a Trace away well. Copper Rush is going to carve across and find the lead and get Without a Trace a lovely run to second. Lanfranco Clean Air to third. They're followed by Henry Intention along the inside from Ethanol Water, Fade to Black. Well back to Flying Proud and Late Night News at the end with a lap to go. It's Copper Rush rolling along. 3 lengths to Without a Trace, and Lanfranco just applies some pressure on the outside and now moves past Without a Trace, who's drifting back, running on Ethanol Water, and then Henry Intention from Fade to Black and Flying Proud, but Lanfranco just went straight on by Copper Rush and raced away 2 or 3 to Henry Intention, who's running on hard. Here's Ethanol Water. Ethanol Water right over the top, came away and won it in a strange old Fireball. Ethanol Water won it 2 lengths, Henry Intention or Lanfranco. It is close for the Miners, then Fade to Black, Late Night News. Well, Without a Trace did not finish off, nor did Copper Rush, and Flying Proud the last one in. That was action-packed, 43 flat for Ethanol Water. It's come from nowhere, 3 the whites.
Say the least. Without a Trace loomed up, looking to pretty positive position. She drifted back through the field. Fingers crossed all is okay with her. Boy, didn't that change complexion? Ethanol Water over the top, and one man who was screaming behind the boxes in absolute joy was Ricky Coleman, and he joins Corey Smith.
Gee whiz, Ricky Coleman, I know you've got a dog in the next race, and I know how excited you are, mate, but I need to have a word with you because Ethanol Water, how good was she just then?
Oh, look, she jumped well, and then without a trace, cut her across, and she got jammed back in the race, and I thought, well, I know she's strong, but you needed a little bit of luck, and when the 8 and the 2 front runners jammed up a little bit and she came around the outside, oh, just unbelievable, Corey, unbelievable.
She's obviously a multiple Group 1 winner. She's just about been in every big final there has been over the last 18 months. Flew a little bit under the radar going into this one, and you never know whether she's going to lead all the way or whether she's going to be super strong running over the top of them, but she didn't get it all her own way here, and that just goes to show how good she really is.
No, it just shows how determined of a chaser she is. Like, I've got a good saying, you can run those races 8 different times and have a different winner each time. You need a little bit of luck, and she got it tonight, and she produced a beautiful run tonight.
And clearly, we'll come this way so the tractor can go past, but clearly she's a greyhound that means a fair bit to you because you were nice and animated there.
Oh, look, it's not the greyhound itself, it's the people I work for. They're great people. They've given me everything that I could ask for. They give me the opportunity to handle dogs like this. Like, yeah, it's just great people to work for, and that's what I'm excited about, being able to get dogs like this to perform for them.
Well, good luck in the big one in a couple of races' time as well, and well done, mate. You certainly deserve a nice big celebration after that.
Thank you, appreciate that.
There we go for it, boys. Ricky Coleman, nice and animated after the last. Hopefully, without a trace is all right, but that was an impressive win by a very, very impressive greyhound.
Have a look at the scenes of Ricky Coleman when they passed the post, and I tell you what, we had the luxury of hearing his microphone come through our ear, and thankfully, or at least I hope, it didn't go to air. Fair to say he was happy with the way things ended in the closing stages of the Fireball. Ethanol Water, absolutely superb. We're going to have to probably take a look at this replay a number of times to work out what the narrative was for a number of these greyhounds. But Nathan Rooney, I'll hand it to you. Ethanol Water jumping from box 3. Here she is. Talk us through it.
Typical Ethanol Water, come out on terms, most probably got a little bit outpaced there, got back to mid-pack, couple off the fence as we most probably expect her to be, the way she maps and races throughout this part of her career. Copper Rush showed the early speed and was able to get across Without a Trace early, which we did kind of identify could have been an issue for Without a Trace, and she got in a bit of a bumping duel there with the reserve Henry Intention. That caused her to drop back. Lanfranco had the race at his mercy. He was able to get in front, most probably too early for Lanfranco. Found the top here and goes wandering again, which we've seen him do previously. And that just allowed Ethanol Water to have that clean, unimpeded run in the last half of the race. We knew she had the moulds in her legs, and she was able to take advantage of a little bit of argy-bargy up the front, and she was a tearaway winner in the end. But another group win for Team Daly, another group win for Ethanol Water, and she's been a wonderful stayer throughout the last 12 months, Jace.
Yeah, she's been unreal. And so I had no idea where to look.
No.
Because I'm cheering on Without a Trace because I love the way she's handled business so far in her career. She starts to drift back, and I said before, fingers crossed, everything is better than what it looked visually with her. Lanfranco was looming up. We're talking off air here behind the boxes, thinking, what on earth is he going to do at this stage of the race? I don't think any of us had an eye on Ethanol Water and what she was doing.
No, and Copper Rush probably didn't help matters in terms of Lanfranco's focus there. I mean, it was going backwards. It's a very hard race to analyse because it's not as if Without a Trace came again and finished well. There's clearly been an issue there. I noticed Peter Prosciutto said, you know, she was really keen to get on with it. So maybe she was, you know, in horse racing parlance, a little bit over the top tonight. Let the Prosciutto camp work out what they do with her next, but let's hope everything's okay with her. So, you know, and that's what Ethanol Water can do. You know, she got the race set up to suit, but you know, that's not her fault. She, the back half of her race was super strong. She's been there, done that. You know, and she's ended up winning the race. And yeah, sure, was there a bit of chaos? And I think myself and Nath will be hitting our 700 videos per week limit just on that race alone. It's going to take us a while to go.
4 figures for you.
Yeah, so yeah, and that's what can happen in these staying races. There can be a bit of chaos sometimes, and just that Copper Rush, if the behind the boxes shot was key there, because it just as the turn Copper Rush just crossed Without a Trace, just almost at the split second of the wrong time. I'm trying not to make excuses here, but we were worried about Copper Rush getting in the way early, and Without a Trace had a greyhound on its right-hand indicator, so to speak, which was the one thing I didn't want to happen, and that did eventuate, but obviously it went pear-shaped for abstract reasons after that for Without a Trace.
There isn't many staying races that we look at, Michael, that have a 490 leader, a 492 dog drawn initially under it, initially on her outside, and then a 5 even dog with Fade to Black, running in the middle of the track. Typically, you get your stayers that run, you'll have one that run 490, one that'll run 5 even, the others will be, 510, and they can kind of string out. I think back to like Groovebird, she run, genuinely 490 for a period of time where she'd just get to the front and be able to roll along. When I looked at this race and mapped this race, you were most probably the same, where you could find, 3 runners that were clustered together that could all break 5 to the mark, and then that just opened up the race for Lanfranco to get across, Ethanol Water to get back to mid-pack and away from traffic to build the engine up and close late. So even though Without a Trace put the writing on the wall in the heat, it most probably didn't map perfectly for her tonight. And she began quite well. She just got that check and then lost a bit of momentum. And then when dogs got around her, they gave her a bump and she, went backwards through the field. She might have been a little bit flat. She might have copped the bump in the right way, or she might have just gonna pull up a little bit sore. But nonetheless, we'll see plenty of Without a Trace over this distance range in group races moving forward. Just put a line through what happened tonight. It just wasn't the right map for her, and the race certainly didn't plan out accordingly.
Yep, and our good friends, she's watching, Molly Haynes has sent me a message making the point of Ethanol Water there, Ty, not blowing out a candle.
It's a very good point, Molly, yeah. Well, she's just a little star, really. I mean, she's been at the top of her game for a long time now. And did she pinch another Group 3 here? Well, probably. But that's all right, yeah, and she's a star.
She is, and we had some conversations during the week about the awards that are coming up here in Victoria through the middle part of September. Stay of the Year, Grain of the Year and Sprinter of the Year, which of course isn't relevant here. But, geez, when you go back and have a look at what she did, Nate, through the financial year just gone. I mean, it can creep up on you how many feature races she's been in and how well she has performed on such a consistent basis against the best stayers that the country's got to offer.
And I think the key to that is what the country's got to offer, because it's not only in Victoria, Jay. She's done it in Queensland. She's done it in New South Wales. She's done it everywhere.
WA.
She's done it in WA. And that's what the hard part is. It's hard for us to get on a flight and go somewhere and you hear, interstate football sides in AFL talk about, only a 6-day break. We've got to travel. When greyhounds like her and the high-quality greyhounds go away for series and they stay 2-3 weeks in a different surrounding, have a different training regime, race at a different track, and then come back, and within 2 weeks they're going around here, then they're on a plane again and they're going elsewhere, to stay up at that level for a stayer is very rare. I reckon in the past, 10 years, you could put a list of high-quality stayers that you would think were going to be unbeatable that last, 2 or 3 months with that regime, and then they fall off a cliff, because they literally can't withstand the travel
demands,
the demand of racing at the highest level without jump in the car, go down the road and race, and then go home, go back to your kennel, and we'll prepare you next week the way we want you to race at your peak. So that in itself is a feather in not only the greyhound's cap,